Hi, and welcome to my latest video. My name is Amy Ritchie, and I run Amy's Taxidermy in North Carolina. In this video, we are going to showcase something that was a very special project to me, and that is the completion of my first leopard mount. Now, I really enjoy doing all forms of cat taxidermy, and I do hundreds of bobcats every year, as well as a good number of mountain lions. But this was the first time I had ever done a leopard. This was actually donated to me by another taxidermist who had no need of the hide. I am merely the taxidermist, not the hunter. So if you have a problem with trophy hunting, such as giraffes, zebras, leopards, those are all going to be in this video, and you might not want to watch any further. Then again, if you were against that, you probably weren't interested in my taxidermy videos to begin with. So moving forward, we're starting with a tanned leopard hide. We're going to be using some products from McKinsey Taxidermy Supply. I used one of their leopard forms and jaw sets, as well as the McKinsey tree that I placed the leopard on. Now, if you check my other YouTube videos, I have a video showing how I assembled this habitat scene. I did rocks and roots, all kind of cool stuff. So if you want to see how I made the scenery, that will be in another video. But in this video, we're going to start with the tanned leopard hide and move forward with installing the ears, adding hide paste, and actually assembling this whole mount together. Very excited to show this to you, and I hope you enjoy. Right now I'm making adjustments to the angle of the head. I wish I didn't have to do it up here on the ladder, but there's really no way to get it spot on other than to put it up here as it's going to sit on the tree and adjust the angle, get down, make sure that from the ground it looks like what I want. I'm pretty close on this, but I think I want the head to be looking down just a little bit more. I made a couple other minor adjustments, mostly involving had to bring this front left paw down a little bit to match up with this. But once I can get the head angle right, we are ready to go. I'm gonna look at that. This is going to be our buddy during this process. I'm going to use this mounting spike in an upright position to place the form onto. This way we'll be able to drape the hide over, do a lot of work without poking any holes into the leopard hide. Now I'm going to foam this shoulder and this head into place, scratch the form, and we'll be ready to go because this is going to be a pretty great fit just as is. Mixing up some 2-part foam, pouring it into these cracks, and going to foam in the spots in the shoulder and the head that were open from where I turned them just a little bit. Now I'll let that set up and I'll sand this all down. Over here I've been using my scalpel to thin the hide down a bit. These are the back side of the whiskers. You can see how nice these look. But I have to separate them over here on this side. They have not been separated yet. And if you were to mount it like that, you're going to have very little range of motion on the whiskers. So working on thinning that down. I've cut the skin of the lips off so that I can glue it around the jaw set. And now I'm just thinning around here as well. Now I'm going to sew up this tail. I've got to sew down the entire tail. I think this is pretty cool how you can see the spots from the inside of the leather. Very interesting. But yes, I'll save a lot of time and hassle later if I go ahead and just pre-sew it up now. This hide was in really great condition with the exception of the ears, which have a lot of holes in them. I'm going to use a dryer sheet to kind of patch all this over because I like to use Bondo on my ears, and that's going to be a mess. But I think I can fix this. I've coated the ear in a dryer sheet that I used spray adhesive to apply, and now I'm just going to flip it right side out and go ahead with my Bondo as usual. It's funny that it took me a minute to figure out what was different. The taxidermist that gave me this hide had taken the cartilage out of these ears in preparation for ear liners, and I'm just not a ear liner person most of the time. I really like to use Bondo, so that's a little different. Normally we would have the cartilage in the ears for Bondo. It helps to guide my shape, but that's okay. I'm just going to have to be a little bit more careful with how I shape these ears since I don't have the cartilage to use as a guide. But these dryer sheets are really helping with the holes because now there's a layer inside there, so my Bondo isn't just piling straight out of the ear. I am being really careful as I push it to the edge. I have one hole there, some Bondo coming through. But overall, this has not been too bad. Now I've just got to carefully shape this as it sets up. Now I'm going to add some clay to the toes. Just put one ball of clay down in each of the toes. Push that in. Here comes the fun part now. Let's start to work on the face and set the eyes. I've got some reference set up behind me on my computer. I've done a lot of mountain lions. They're pretty similar, but a leopard has its own, facial structure, and you can never have too much reference, that's for sure. So I'm going to look at some various photos while I do this. These are the very special reflective eyes. Glad I'm still able to have a pair left to use on this leopard. Oh, these are a perfect fit. I'll stand back, check these for angle and symmetry. Make sure they're staring in the same direction. All right, let's take some critter clay. I'll roll out a piece of clay here. Let's see. We'll do this top eyelid. It's amazing how with just one roll of clay, you could see the expression in that already. He's got a nice, relaxed expression. And then I'll do a nice rounded bottom eyelid. What do you think of that? I like it. I like it a lot. We can refine our expression later, but this will give us a good start. I just want him to look kind of relaxed, kind of sneaky. Now we'll do the same thing to the other side. Just one roll of clay makes the top eyelet. I love the color of these eyes. They have a nice blue tint to them, which I see in a lot of leopard reference photos. All right, time to do some other things with clay. Think about where my ears are going to be positioned. They're going to come in right about here with the front corner, and I want to be able to set them into clay so that they don't stick too far out from the head. So let's cut two really deep wells into the head. And we'll put clay all around this, so can't really mess this up too bad. Better to cut a little more than a little less. Looking at that reference photo with the ears alert leopard, we're not going to go past right here. I'm going to make a bit of a cup that goes around these holes that I cut. And this will help us connect the ear to the head. All right. Let's put a bed of clay down inside there as well. And that will help me to sculpt the inner ear canal. All right, there we go. A little bit of clay on the nose pad here will go a long way in helping us sculpt the proper shape of the nose pad. Just a little bit. Now I'm going to put a little bit of clay for the whisker, the entire whisker area. We don't want this to be so hard. We want something to bed those whiskers into. The ones I was, cleaning off earlier on the hide, those little bulbs on the back side of the leather, they're going to need something to press into. That's going to help with that. All right, it's about go time now. I took my form over to the tree and checked, the position of the head and all, just to make sure nothing had changed and everything still looked stellar. So we're ready to go. This is Mackenzie paste that I've mixed with some yellow dextrin, which gives me just a little bit more tack to the glue, makes it a little bit thicker. So I'm going to put it on the back and the sides and the face. Not going to do the stomach right now or the lower legs, because I can do that later when I'm sewing the animal. I'm going to cut down on the glue that we might have to get on the hide. We're going to smooth the paste everywhere else. Yeah, I'm just going to go kind of from the middle of the legs on up and not around the back side of the legs, because that's where our incision is. Well, it's the moment I have been waiting for. I am super excited. This is the last time we will see this hide as just a hide. It's time to mount the leopard. Let's take one last look at this cool dude. His clay in the base of the ears, everything is pretty much ready to go. Time to do this without making too much of a mess. I really try to keep the hide glue down, so keep it off of the hide. So I'm going to start by just draping this over in the proper spot. And now we're going to have to slip the head through here, and I really don't want to destroy all my clay work, so I got to be kind of cognizant of that. And I'm going to put my hands through here, kind of stretch it out and guide it. Let's pull this forward. All right. Yeah, mostly concerned about the face here because I do not want to mess it up. So with my hands in here, I can guide it over those eyes and not destroy everything. That is the plan. Hide paste helps it to slip on there easily. All right, almost there. Just got to get it right over the jaws here. Now we can move this back down some more. Nice. Try to keep the paste off this leg. And we can finally get this into place. Yep. Luckily our clay work was preserved. Did not mess that up too badly. Head is just a little twisted. Let's get the skin properly aligned. There we go. Heck yeah. Now I'll put all 4 feet on and kind of just get everything into place. Been working on kind of getting the ears roughly set in place. They're in their holes. I'll come back to that. Now, let's do some work to the face. As expected, some of that hide paste did come off, so I'm going to put some more through here. There's not a lot of stretch right through here, so I'm going to have to work on that. I do have these eyes lined up. There's a lot of, nice slack in all the rest of the hide, so I know it's there. I just got to pull the hide and adjust it into the right spots. Let's go ahead and tuck this nose. That way that can kind of serve as a center point. Now we can get access to the underside of the mouth. Awesome. Now I'm just going to use my reference photos to fine tune this. Now all we got to do is sew him up. Got a lot of sewing, but it's fairly straightforward. So I'm going to spend a couple hours doing this. I'm on my last leg and I'm feeling pretty good. It's taking me about 30 minutes per leg. I'm on the fourth one, then I just got to sew up the belly, and we will be ready to dry this animal and put it up on its tree. I've been at this for right about 8 hours so far. Time to put him on his final resting scene. World's strongest woman. All right. Come on, buddy. He's not that much heavier than before the hide was on, but just a little. Here we go. Now let's get the feet into place. I've got to kind of adjust the toes and make him mold to the scene.